Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 666. Some people may think that's a weird number, but I don't care. I'm here to be able to make things happen. And that is why on this episode, we are talking about fighting for your dreams. Fighting for what is right, fighting for the light, and making things a reality. Now, if you don't know, these are being broadcasted live right now, unless you're listening to the podcast, but you can know this. These are always live recordings of the podcast. So you can always join us on youtube.com/Joseph Clough. And that means you can be a part of the pre-show where we start to speak with one another. And also on the after show. And for those who are live right now, as we record, we go ahead and get the episode done, and then I'll get to your chats and your comments after the episode. But in today's episode, we are talking about fighting for your dream. Now, if we are going to do this, we have to realize, and it is hard, but it has to come from us. You see, if you have a dream so big and bold that you know in your heart, that it's on your heart, you've got to be willing to do whatever it takes. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the things that you're presently doing to be able to put more energy and attention to your success in your dream. Now, I don't know, maybe we've been told that we're not enough in the past to be able to achieve our goals and dreams. I don't know if it's because of our past upbringing that we started to doubt ourselves along the way to that dream. But there was a time when you did have this boundless thinking and dreaming. When we were a child, most of the time, even to a degree, even if we've had traumatic times, we have this imagination that something is going to get better. Or we dream these dreams that allow us to go, this is where I want to be in the world. Whether we're modeling what we don't want because that was in our environment growing up, or we see people achieving certain things in movies and books in real time, and we go, I want to be a part of that. So we have that dream, we had the ability, but say maybe somewhere along the line, something was forgotten. Where we were told that we weren't able, we weren't capable. Maybe we've been hypnotized by society that it is too hard to get to where we want to be. Maybe there's so much evidence of what is not possible in the world that we start to buy into that and think, well, that must be my lot. If I don't see many examples out there or in my vicinity, the most of my energy that I see and all the things that I observe in my world is one of fear and doubt of those people who've tried and failed. Maybe we start to buy into that ourselves. Maybe we start to go, maybe it is just wishful thinking. Maybe I should give up on my dream. But if there's one thing about me that I've learned over the years of doing this, which is like 2 decades, and I've had to learn the hard way in many ways, where it be about letting go of my issue. I had to try tons of things. I had to live through that pain. I had to experience the scarcity. I had to experience what it was like to have that dread every single day, and had to try to apply all these different things to make the solution. Or maybe it's in my business, where having dropped out of college, having really not succeeded at school, that I could have just given up. Even when people almost pretty much told me to give up. I won't mention names, but people did. They said, who are you to achieve these kind of goals and dreams that you have? Now, there's one thing I've learned over that time, and it's a word. Maybe it's 2, but it's like a combined word of non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. You see, your happiness should be non-negotiable. Your goals and your dreams should be non-negotiable. We go all out on them. We do what has to be done. We begin to look for what is out there. If everything is saying no to us, we either learn from it or we look for the next yes. We look for the examples of what can be done. Life should not be negotiable when it comes to your goals and your dreams. If you want it, you got to make it happen. You've got to give up some things. That can be a non-negotiable. You may have to give up some things that are not like giving you the essence and the energy to move forward. Maybe a non-negotiable should be that I'm going to give up Netflix for the next year. I'm going to spend all the time I use on Netflix, I'm going to put it into my development and my dream that I have, my business, my relationship, my career, my finances. Maybe it's social media. Hey, maybe it's even YouTube or podcasts, whatever it is. I don't mind if it is this. If it means getting you to your goal, then do so. But there has to be non-negotiables, and happiness is something that is a non-negotiable for me. Your emotional freedom is non-negotiable. We don't negotiate with happiness. We just get it. We drive toward it. We do whatever it takes. We take massive and inspired action. Because here's the thing. Although we are mainly deciding based on our fears, it is true. I think in the world that we live in, most of the people, most, not all, but most, I think most people make decisions based on what they fear. They make decisions based on what they don't want to happen, which is the scarcity, which is the doubt, which is the fear of failure. That is the fear of not being enough. That is the fear of success. That is the fear of getting help. They make mainly decisions based on the lack of their goal, on the lack of their dream. But if you're gonna succeed, if you're going to be the person and be the example of what can be done, you don't give up on that. You dig deeper. Now, of course, there are many people in lots of crazy situations. I understand that, and I'm not saying, look, pull your bootstrings. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that, look, if it is on us, we've got to do something, and we're not going to give up on that dream. We're going to knock on every single door possible. We're going to try every single thing to get ourselves to be there. We're going to put all that time investment by giving up the things which aren't really serving us in comparison to achieving that goal and dream. We're going to put all that energy, put all that blood and sweat and tears into it because it is important to us. Your happiness is so, so important. Your dream, fighting for what is right, fighting for the light, fighting for your happiness, your goal, your outcome, your dream has to be a priority. And that does mean we're giving up certain things. Giving up things which aren't working to look for things which will. So having that ability, that flexibility of behavioral flexibility. When something's not working, we got to keep on adjusting, modifying, growing, learning, and adapting. You have it within your beingness. You are here as a survivor. Throughout the generations of you, you are here and you are alive. And that is huge. You being in this world makes the world unique. You having that dream makes you unique. So what are we doing? Are we going to decide on the fear and only on fear? Are we going to allow that part of us on the inside which is saying, no, you can't do it? Where it's society that we're echoing, but look, who are you to do that? Who are you to have an abundant business? Who are you to grow your business? Who are you to have that career of your desires and your dreams of doing the thing that you love? Whether it be the echoing thoughts of our parents or the bullies or the situations or even our own inner doubts. We all have that. Even to this day, despite having been in the personal development world for those 20 years, I still get those doubts. I still get that fear because it's a human experience. Sometimes I think that fear is telling us, do we really want it enough? Sometimes we can allow that fear to be the thing which blocks us, but sometimes we've got to rise up to that fear. When it screams at us, when it shouts at us, we go, even though I feel this fear, I'm going to do what is right today. Even though I've been running and deciding based on the fear because of my last experiences, my previous history in my life, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be the person I want to be. You see, I personally, there's just me, and this doesn't have to be you, but I want to create a legacy. I want to create a legacy where I lived and I loved and I had meaning, and I started to do, obviously with my one is to hopefully help people. And I'm willing to sacrifice, even do all the free work, all of it, because that is so important to me. And I genuinely mean that. I don't have to do this, even as a business level. A part of me would die inside if I probably stopped doing it though, because it is something that I love doing. It is my purpose. It is my passion. It is the thing which makes me want to get up in the morning. It is the thing that wants to keep on driving forward. But there are those times when that doubt will creep in and say, why should I keep on doing this? It's not growing as quickly as you want, Joseph. Maybe you're not getting all the reviews you want. Maybe you're not making the impact. Why not just give up? Why not just give up and let it all go? Well, when those thoughts do happen, that's where I'm going to double down on my goal and my dream. I'm going to realize that it is a test. Even if it's not a test, even that fear and that programming is so harmful and horrible and all those things, I'm going to see it as a test of my resiliency. I'm going to see it as a test of who I want to become in this world. Do I really want this dream bad enough? Do I want to make that impact? Do I want to be an example of what can be done? Do I want to be able to break free of that fear? Do I want that abundance, that success, and that relationship, that fill in the blank? All of those things that we have. But we've got to ask ourselves, how bad do we really want it? Is it something we're willing to give up? Because along the way, you will have to give up. And I firmly believe in this, and this may be a limiting decision. But I think sometimes we have to sacrifice. We have to have a disharmony, a lack of balance to be able to achieve our goals and dreams. As an example, look, if you want to lose weight, you're going to have to eat less and do more, right? Just hopefully physics, biology, right? That's what we got to think about. You're going to have to give up foods which maybe aren't supporting you. You're going to have to give up certain time or money to be able to go to a gym or get a personal trainer. Definitely time. If you're just out in nature, you've got to do that stuff. You've got to give up something. Every goal and dream has a level of giving up. And after all, if it's important to you, if it's meaningful to you, the chances are that's a necessity. But it doesn't mean we give up or don't do it just because we've got to give up something. Because it's worth more than that. I believe you are worth more than that. You are deserving. Even if we don't believe that we're deserving right now, even if you don't believe that you're worthy and enough, that's what I solve. That's the issue that I solve with people, mainly as a whole. The imposter syndrome, even if you don't believe it just yet, it doesn't mean you should give up. It doesn't mean that you should let it go. Take it as an indication that it's asking you to rise up bigger and bolder. Take it as a signal to say, this fear is here, how badly do you want it? And that's where you shout louder. That's where you get that passion. That's where you step into your purpose. That is where you become the example of what can be done. Remember, staying the same, the lack of a decision to do what is right on your goals and dreams, all of that is going to hold us back. Indecision is still a decision. Sounds weird. Indecision of going for your dreams by staying the same is still a decision to stay the same. And I'm asking you with all your will and all your might to go, this is the decision I'm going to make. Not the indecision of staying the same, which is a decision, but actually the decision that I'm going to move forward. Each and every day I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, I'm going to look for the solution. I'm going to be able to look for the resources. I'm going to knock on every single door until I get to the one which opens up to me. And along the way, I will get rejected. And that's fine. Along the way, there'll be many no's, and that is fine. Because every no, every rejection, every so-called failure, there's something to learn from, to modify, and also, more importantly, the more you go through, the quicker you're going to get to the yes. If you give up on the first no, the second no, the third no, then you're not going to get there. But if you keep on going, eventually along the way, there will be a yes. And that yes is going to then set you free. You're going to start to feel what is possible. You see, when I look back of how I feel right now in my life, I feel gratitude. I honestly, genuinely do. I feel the privilege to be here, to be able to be hopefully an example. Like, I just love doing what I do, as you can tell. I've said it a couple of times now. But I'm so passionate about it. Because I'm passionate about you and your results. You see, just the other day, today actually, someone sent an email and they said, look, they finally liked themselves. And they actually said, I think I actually love myself. Now imagine that, to love yourself, to know that you're worthy, to know that you're deserving of those goals and dreams. That's what life is about. Even in the times of fear, even when the spouse in our lives says, look, maybe we should give up by now. Maybe when the economy is saying, no, I refuse to buy into that opinion of the economy. Because somewhere out there, there's going to be someone who's making it happen. Somewhere out there, there's going to be an example of someone succeeding. Somewhere out there, there's going to be a solution. Somewhere out there, even in the present, in the future, in the past, there's going to be an example of someone who's achieved your goal where you probably, or where they were probably in a worse situation. So why should we let ourselves off the hook? One thing I don't want to live is a life of regret. That is painful, more painful. And we've got to reflect on that, sadly, sometimes. Living the life of indecision and the life of regret is going to be so much more painful in the long run than the short-term pain that it is to move forward each step along the way. And I'm not talking about the big leaps. And going back to me for a second again, it hasn't been a big set of leaps. It has been a lot of pain. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been continuous days at times. Like 12, 14, 15, 16-hour days. For sometimes I've done this for a couple of months with no day off. Because it's so important to me to be able to do what I want to be doing in the world. So that short-term pain, whether it be for you for that whole year of doing whatever it takes, to raise the finances, to find the solution, to try out different things, to learn, to grow, even if it takes a year of pain, of sacrifice, of giving up aspects, giving up on sometimes socializing, giving up on going to the restaurant, giving up on spending on money on things which aren't giving us the long-term pleasure and success of what we want. That 1 year of an investment, that 1 year of giving up, that 1 year of investing into you and your dream will pay back dividends for decades to come. And you don't know, here's the interesting thing, you don't know who you are inspiring every single day. We don't know who's modeling us. You see, if we come from a place of fear of not being enough, maybe we have children in our life and they're modeling that too. Maybe they're subconsciously and unconsciously thinking about, maybe I shouldn't go for my dreams. But just like you were that kid back then, that is why we got to put a stop to it right now. That is why we have to go all in. That is why we decide on the light, on what is right, and fight for it. If you can dream it, we got to take that massive inspired action. We've got to know our outcome. Are we doing the work every single day? Is there something that we're doing which is going to lead us closer? That compound interest effect of that momentum building up, that success. That should be a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. Whatever it is. Whatever block we're feeling on the inside, because I know we've been through a lot of painful things. I know that we've got those no's. I know that we've gone through trauma. I work with people every single day who have gone through some horrific things in their life. And last 20 years, I've heard a lot. I've read a lot based on the emails that we get. All the people I've worked with within the company, within my business. I've seen and heard and felt a lot. And that actually makes me want to do more, by the way. But what I have also seen is those people rise to the occasion. Even when they were just let down in the past, even if they were told no, even if they tried so many different things, they kept on moving forward. They decided that their goal and dream was right. It was their birthright to do what has to be done. It was their conviction, their resiliency, that they're gonna not give up on their desires. They're not gonna give up just because they're going through pain. Throughout history, there's been so many painful events. And I always refer back to, and I think I always will for the rest of my life, Viktor Frankl, quote, "When we're unable to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This is where we challenge ourselves today. This is where we just go and dig deeper. This is where we look for more support. Like I said, I'm not saying like some people in situations, I'm not saying like just, I can't ever name the term, like pull up your bootstraps. I'm not saying that. But it's still got to come from us, and we've got to get help from other people. There are services out there, but I want us to keep on moving forward. Do not give up on that dream. Do not give up for that pain that we're in. Do not give up on the internal conflict and turmoil. Make it a non-negotiable. That we are going to fight because it's right. We're going to fight for our happiness. We're going to fight for our health. We're going to fight for the abundance, the dream, the career, the relationship. We're going to give up what no longer serves us, even if it's temporary. Remember, it may be maybe a year. Maybe it'll take 1 year of hustle and hard work. Maybe it's 2. But still, it's worth it. Waking up that extra half hour early in the morning will be worth it to get that workout in, or to work on your mind, or to work more so you can save more and invest in yourself, whatever it is. That 1 whole year, and it could be about any goal and dream here, by the way. I'm being very general on purpose because everyone who I speak to can be very significantly different. But even if it's a year of giving up of something, it will set yourself up for freedom. Make your goal, make your dream a total non-negotiable. Even when it comes to relationships, maybe like that goal and dream is non-negotiable when you enter a relationship. Like, look, this is what I want to do in my life. We're not going to give up on it. There's so many things which are non-negotiables. I was saying this earlier today, actually. For some people, a non-negotiable is they never want to have children. And that's okay, right? Maybe therefore the relationship doesn't go forward because for the other person it was a non-negotiable that they wanted children. And we're okay with that. We're clear on that. For some people, religion could be a non-negotiable for relationships. For some people, it could be about finances. It can be about money. It can be about time. It can be about literally anything. There's so many non-negotiables out there. But why isn't our dream a non-negotiable? Well, just because we've been programmed, just because someone said it, doesn't mean we've got to buy into it. That fear, that doubt, that noise. Other people's opinions of your dream are none of your business. When people are saying, no, you can't do it, well, give them a reason as to why you can do it. Give them an example of what is possible, because maybe they've been told that in their past. Maybe they were that baby, that child who was told that they weren't enough. And they're just echoing the same old statements. Generations it could be so old. And that's why they're repeating the same old mindsets. That's why they keep on talking about the limitations, trying to pollute our own mind. But remember, everyone was once a child. in every single way. We got to get to a place where we recognize and separate ourselves from other people's opinions, other people's beliefs, other people's values. It's okay to have different beliefs. It's okay to have different values. It makes us unique. Doesn't mean we have to hate upon them. I always say, look, respect other people's model of the world. May not have to agree with it, but sometimes you got to respect other people's model of the world like they should be respecting you and your goals and dreams. And if they're not respecting them by putting all that fear and doubt into your dream, maybe it's time to make a decision to go and prove what is possible, to prove that you are capable, to make that a reality. As I said, you could inspire one person in your life, one person in your vicinity, in your sphere of influence, which, whether you know it or not, which could change the world. That one person. You see, on the one hand, that one person in my life, when I was young, and I can't remember the specific event, but I've talked about the teacher one, was huge in a negative way. And we've all had experiences like that, being told they were not good enough. But on the same notion, I've had my father who said, look, why not? Help me get on a hypnosis course. I had to put all the work in and money and time into it. But there was someone there who instigated that change. And there was someone else there for my father who instigated that change as well. You see, we don't know who we're instigating. We don't know who we're inspiring at times. But you could be a part of a ripple effect where it's not just about you. And I think your dream, if we really think about it, I think if we really think about your dream, your goal, your mission, your ambition, your mission, I think if it's a pure one, it's good for self, good for others, and good for the world. Good for self, good for others, and good for the world. Now, if that is true, if you are good and feel good enough and worthy and deserving to get your goal and dream, and you make it a reality, think about the abundance that creates. If it's creating a business, you're supplying salaries and jobs. You're providing a service. You're putting food on the table for other people. Good for self, good to others, and good for the world. In any goal and dream, even if it's subtle, even if it's unconscious, where you're the example to that person who sees you online, or the kid in your life, whether it be a niece and nephew, a younger sibling, whether it be the person down the road, you shining your light bright, you not giving in, you going all out on your dream, you becoming the person that you want to be, where you decided over the fear, you decided what was right, where you refused to buy into other people's opinions of you and your dream. You doing so, you're staking a claim for yourself, but you're also doing it for someone else out there in the future. You are becoming the example of what can be done. So fight for that light, fight for what is right, fight for your dream, because if you want it, go ahead and get it. Do whatever it takes. Make it a non-negotiable. Nothing less than the success. That's it. I'm going to learn and grow along the way, but nothing less than success. In any endeavor, nothing less than success. Remember, the indecision is still a decision. For deciding on the fear is still a decision. And we make that decision. And it will be hard. It'll be stressful. There'll be tears. There'll be times when we feel like giving up. Because quite frankly, sometimes a dream is a dream because it's so big. But remember, you're birthing something huge. You are birthing into reality some of your greatest desires and dreams. You're birthing into reality things which are going to create a legacy, going to create an impact in every area of your life and those in your life. So be at peace with the road that it takes you down. Be at peace. There'll be people saying no. Be at peace. There may be some blocks. Be at peace that you may even doubt yourself. It's going to happen. But if we're at peace with it, we can still go ahead and do it regardless. So it's your time to shine, time to thrive, Make those small steps become the overnight successes in other people's eyes, because they won't be seeing what you're doing behind the closed doors. They won't see what you're doing when they're out socializing. They won't see what you're doing when they're on Netflix. They won't see what you're doing and making the change when they're on Facebook and so on. So do the quiet work. Do the solitude work of continuously bettering yourself. Not good at something? Well, it's time to suck less at it. Keep on getting better. Just gonna suck less at it. I'm gonna keep persisting at it. I'm gonna keep on looking for the ground I can gain traction. Because I know when I get that traction, when I know I push up that hill, that big mountain, when I get to the peak of that mountain, I'm going to look down and not just feel the satisfaction of being there, but also I'm going to look down at the path, the trail that I took. The moments where I cried, the moments where I was hard, the moments when I went back 5-10 steps. Because I know that I put the effort in. It was all on me. And you're going to look back and go, I did this. I created. I learned. I made it a reality. And that's where you'll get the gratitude. It's not about the destination. We know that. Yes, we want it, but really we want what the destination will give us. And I think sometimes what we forget to realize, what it's giving us is that fortitude. It's giving us that resiliency. It's giving us that flexibility, the adaptability. It's giving us the skill set, the mindsets, which will be able to be utilized in other endeavors. That's what we're after as well. The mental toughness of moving forward. Now, of course, I believe in you. I want you to get there. If other people have done it, so can you. And of course, if you are a professional and you're really invested to let go of your issue in as little as 8 weeks, letting go of the imposter syndrome. Like I said, you got to be financially invested. There's a fully customized program tailored to your unconscious blocks and needs, from custom tracks, from one-to-ones, from group coaching, from modules, assignments, accountability, all of those things. If you are ready to make the biggest, amazing investment in your life that will give you everything you've always wanted, go to josephclough.info/talk. josephclough.info/talk. And what happens is you go ahead and book a time on our calendar. You show up before that, you fill out an application so it can prepare the team to see if we can serve you and help you. Then we get clear on the call what you want to let go of, exactly what you want to achieve, get clear on what's unconsciously stopping you, and make up a plan to make it a reality. That's josephclough.info/talk. You've got to be ready to go all in, to decide over fear, to decide on your dream. We only help certain kinds of people. That's what we do. It's just what it is, because that's what the program is built for. And that's what I'm really super passionate about. So you have to qualify. We don't take on anyone. Got to be a good fit for the people in the program. And also I've got to want to work with you, like working with you. And I want you to be like fighting as much as I'm willing to fight for your dream. That means we make it a reality. So once again, that is josephclough.info/talk. And with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on a future episode. Many thanks and goodbye.